He told me that he will split the money in our joint account and give me half, even though all of it is pretty much his. But I will get nothing more than this. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, going to be doing an update or part 2 to a pretty popular story I did about a week ago, which was titled, Wife Justifies Cheating on Husband Because Other Gals Like Him and Has a Meltdown After He Abandons Her. And as a quick recap to that story, guys, that's about the woman. She is not from the United States, she's from Europe. Doesn't say where in Europe, but she's from Europe. And she's having a meltdown because her husband has just completely flipped the switch. No interest in her, completely abandoning her because she cheated on him. And if you recall from the story, she describes how they met at a party. He was very popular with the ladies. This guy obviously was a Chad, but not acting like a Chad. And he liked her instantly. She thought she was beneath him. So therefore, of course, she was very attracted to him. And they got married after a couple of years. He's a doctor, and either he makes way more money than she does, or he takes care of all the bills. They had a kid together, and after having the kid, she put on some pounds, which is, hey, understandable. You're carrying a little human being around. But she didn't quite shake off the pounds just yet. And she's feeling very insecure about her body and all that. And he's been very supportive. He's been helping her try to feel better about herself. He joined a gym. He welcomed her to join him, but no major pressure. But she's been holding off on the SEX, okay? And the guy has needs. And she keeps holding off on the SEX. Well, guess what? One day she was snooping on his phone and found all these messages that girls were texting him on Instagram, messaging him. And he was trying to hit him up and get together with him, and he was denying it and blocking some of them. And she used that as an excuse to pretty much cheat on him. She goes and cheats on him, hooks up with, I think, an ex of hers or something like that, even though there was proof he wasn't cheating on her. Eventually, she admits this to him, and boom, like that, he's done. All the love he had for her went off like a light switch. And he's done with her. And she's having a freaking meltdown doing the woe is me and asking for the big pity party because he's done with her, even though it's her fault. Now we're on to part 2 here. I know that was a lengthy intro, but it's been a week or so and I'm in a talking kind of mood. Part 2 here is when she's continuing her meltdown about how unfair it is that he's done with her and the money situation, because wait for it, you're going to see they have a prenup. He was pretty smart about that. And it's amazing to me, even though she's the one that ruined this whole marriage, he was extremely good to her, if you all recall. But still, pulling the pity party and woe is me because of what's happening to her. It's ridiculous. But it doesn't surprise me, and it won't surprise any of you. So for you guys that are relationship guys, keep in mind all these things that you may be dealing with one day if you do get married. So things pick up where they left off, saying, hi, I just thought I would make an update since so many people are asking me about it. Unfortunately, it won't be a good one. My now ex-husband is going through with the divorce. Well, duh. We could see that coming a mile away from before. He has not initiated it yet, but told me he is planning on doing so after New Year's. I completely forgot that we had signed an agreement before the marriage. It's a legal agreement in my country that states he keeps what he came into the marriage with, as well as the money he earned separately during our marriage. She forgot that? Come on here. There isn't a woman on the planet that would forget that she signed a prenup agreement, because that's what it obviously is. No woman would forget that. And so you can already see she's setting the stage to try to, I didn't know about that, probably try to hope that she wouldn't be subjected to the rules of the prenup. We have a joint bank account during the marriage, but he always put half his salary into a separate account that I cannot touch. Very smart. I tell all you guys to do that. This money was supposed to be for our future and our child, and since he earns about 10 times what I earn, he kept putting money aside for us to use in the future. That money I can't touch, according to him. Well, you'd be having a happy life with him forever if you didn't screw it up. He was amazing to you. And your insecurities and your BS ruin the whole thing. You make your bed and you lie in it. Nobody is going to feel bad for you on this channel. He told me he will split the money in our joint account and give me half, even though all of it is pretty much his. But I will not get anything more than that. That is his. Financially, I really don't know how to move on from here. I know his life will be completely fine since he earns a lot more than me, but I feel as if our past and memories meant nothing to him. Hang on here. Did you not read your own post or 2 posts before? How you made abundantly clear how much he loved you, how good he was to you, how supportive he was, how after the child was born and you put on pounds. Because she said, I remember I was rereading it this morning. She said she put on a little bit of weight, which in woman language means I put on a lot of weight. And he didn't make her feel bad. He was supportive. He loved her for her. He wanted to get romantic with her, but she didn't want to because she's feeling insecure. He was great to her. So I don't want to hear that the past meant nothing to him. Just because he was able to be done with her like that after hearing of the betrayal doesn't mean it meant nothing to him. But again, woe is me, pity party. You get the point. To be honest, I completely even forgot we wrote this type of agreement in the first hand. Now she's back to the prenup. I feel like a complete idiot because at the time of our wedding, he was not earning as much as he is now, and I know he'll be making more in the future. I'm at a complete loss. My life has fallen into a dark pit, and I don't know how to get out of it. I'm starting to accept the situation more, but not even 1/1,000,000th progress mentally, I feel. Well, again, you brought this on yourself. Okay, you make your bed and you lie in it. Now you have to deal with it. As I said at the end of the last video, you're not going to get him back because she was trying to find out a way to get him to change his mind or get him back. He's done. A lot of guys, when they're pushed too far, they're done, and there's nothing that will change their minds. I'm one of these people. When someone has pushed me too far, I'm done forever. Doesn't make a difference. And it didn't mean that the past didn't mean anything. I'm just done. And this guy is too. What can she do with her being at a complete loss? You start over. Get some freaking therapy, because that's what she needs. And start figuring out a way to be a good mom to your child. And make things easy for him, at least. That's what you owe to him. A lot has happened, but I barely have the energy to write about it now. Currently, I'm only trying to figure out how I'll be able to live a normal lifestyle after the divorce. Normal, huh? She's had a very pampered lifestyle. Now you're going to have to get a job, or a job that makes enough money. But newsflash, you're going to get child support for the child when you have the child part of the time, and you are getting some of the assets, and he very likely will have to pay some bit of alimony unless the rules for infidelity are different in the country. I don't know. Working was always an option for me because of my husband and because he wanted to give me the freedom of doing what I wanted with my time. Talk about screwing up a jackpot situation for her. Now I have to plan my life and start a full-time job just to be able to afford the living expenses for me and my child. Oh, boo-hoo. All the people watching this right now that have full-time jobs, and I guarantee a majority of the people who watch this video, majority really don't like their jobs or their bosses, are feeling so bad for you right now. Meanwhile, my now ex-husband gets to move on as if nothing has happened without any sort of financial struggles. Tough shit, honey. It's as if it doesn't care even for a split second what happens to me. He did care. He loved you very much, but again, you blew it. No pun intended. Sorry for the rant. I will try to answer as many questions as possible, but I don't have much more to say about my life situation. I might update in the future, but as of now, I'm not sure what will happen. When she says update in the future, do you mean whine and complain about her and expect pity for her situation? So that is the end of her thing. It wasn't very long, and I'm going to read some comments in a minute, but I just want to say this. How many stories do you hear, guys, that I've covered in this channel in the almost 3 years I've been on YouTube, this channel and the other? A gal has a great situation and completely screws it up, right? For her whatever reason. She's bored, she's insecure, whatever, and then it's his fault. I mean, you want to talk about the queens of gaslighting and mind effing and the whole psychological BS that a woman puts herself through and uses to assess a situation and assign blame to everybody and anything but her. She is in the situation because she put herself there. And this guy has every right to move on. He was smart enough to have the prenup. He was smart to have the money in a separate account that she couldn't touch, which I tell all you guys do. I did in the other video. I'll do it again. There's a joint account that you can put money in from your paycheck for the mutual expenses, the rent, the mortgage, the electric bill, food, whatever. And then the rest of your money, guys, should go into your own account in your name that she can't touch. And the same thing goes for her. Her paycheck or business profits goes into her thing separately. That's the smartest way to go about it. A lot of people won't do that. A lot of people don't have the balls to do it, but right here, this helped them out a lot. She needs fucking therapy to work on her insecurities and issues and have somebody tell her straight out, don't blame him, don't blame anybody else, blame you. And work on that stuff so you don't mess it up a second time. Because I think she's in her late 20s and he's in his early 30s. And yeah, he's going to move on and have a darn good life. But keep in mind, this guy obviously is hurting too because he loved her very much. And now he has to get over the whole betrayal thing. Not something that will happen overnight. And that could take him a lifetime or never, amongst many other things. Don't act like he just is moving on without a care in the world. He's hurting too. Trust me on this. And the child is 20 months old, I believe, year and a half old. The child's going to suffer too because he can't grow up in a household with both mom and dad. You know? And sure, both of them could be very loving and do a good job with the child, but still, it's obviously studies have proven that the child is going to develop a lot better with mom and dad in the same house. And mom and dad loving each other instead of drama. But anyhow, a few more comments here I'm going to read before I wrap this up. And these people, and nobody is sympathetic to her in the comment section. One guy says, your ex-husband gets to move on as if nothing has happened, right? You couldn't be more wrong. He's going to spend years trying to figure out how to trust anyone again. He's a broken man, and he's leaving you so he can try to heal. It's obvious that you have not come to any sort of acceptance of what you've done and who you are. You are still in denial, believing that you are not the sort of person who can cheat. This post is all about how hurt you are, and you never even acknowledge that you are the one that caused the hurt. Right. We haven't heard any of that. Never her saying, I made a mistake, it's my fault, accepting blame. None. You need to face the reality here. Something inside of you let you do this stuff. You're not the victim here. You need to get counseling, not to save your marriage, but to save you. You need to find help and get your way back to the person who you want to be. Otherwise, you'll keep repeating this behavior. Yeah, but unfortunately, as the saying goes about this joke about women and accountability. So she doesn't come to terms that if she's the one that screwed this up and she's got some issues, she'll just do it again. Because she's 28. She's still in her 20s, still the peak age, and she can lose that weight and she'll look pretty again and find some other guy and repeat the same thing unless she figures out, does some deep soul searching and digging to figure out. Will that happen? Probably not, but one can be hopeful. Another guy says here, honest question, do you realize what you did to him? This whole text reads as if you're convinced that you are the victim, which you are not, and that he's treating you unfairly. Another guy says here, yeah, sorry, but your excuse for cheating was at best asinine. You know he wasn't cheating, and your focus now is just on money. You didn't care what would happen to your marriage when you decided to cheat, even though you knew your husband wasn't cheating. Why would he care about your financial situation after the divorce that you're 100% responsible for? Right. I can tell this guy's is only going to do what the courts tell him to do, which is smart. That's it. Okay, she's not getting anything else. And I'm sure he'll be very generous towards the child. Now, a lot of times guys they'll have their child support, and sometimes if they can afford it, they'll pay more. But the problem is a lot of times then the mothers then use that to buy handbags and purses and a lavish lifestyle, and less goes to the kids. I'm hoping that doesn't happen here. He'll probably buy stuff that's necessary. Another guy says here, you should feel like an idiot for cheating. And you seem to be so worried about money. You risked your health, his health, and clearly your entire future for some fun and what you thought was revenge. Should have thought of that before cheating. Now you can go live an average life and work hard for everything that comes your way. I hope you learn something and can grow from this. Good luck. Yeah, good luck. And I just hope that kid isn't messed up because of all this. And last one, guy says here, your marriage is over. Right now you need to focus on how you're going to support yourself and your child. Also, please get therapy. You need to figure out what drove you to implode and destroy your marriage. You may find love again, but you have to do the work so you don't destroy the next relationship the same way you did this one. Good luck to you. Well, good luck to her. But the thing is, if in her mind, this isn't her fault, it's his fault, and he's abandoning me and being so mean, not giving me all this money, then why would she seek therapy if there's nothing wrong with her? Hopefully, though, for the sake of the child and just the world, maybe she does and figures things out, but who knows. So I'll be keeping an eye out for updates to this story. And anybody else that happens to see an update to this, let me know. I'll definitely cover it. But I expect more of a pity party and things like that. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below what you think about this. And, guys, this is probably the last video of the year, being this is December 31st. So thank you all for your support this year. Wish you all a Happy New Year. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.